Mark Watts, Elitefts.com. This is going to be basically Kettlebell 101. So this will be a good progression. If you have a large group of athletes, you have some kettlebells, you want to be able to teach them the basic components of a swing, which is pretty much, if you're using a kettlebell, it's really the main exercise for most kettlebell programs. Now, if you have time to go through a certification, or better yet, have your athletes go through a long certification over a weekend, obviously that's more power to you. You're probably going to get more out of it. But for, again, a large group of athletes with a minimal amount of time, teach them the basic swing and a couple pointers to look at as far as some common errors that they might make. All right, first thing I'm going to go over. Again, this is my opinion. This is stuff that I got from Dan John, Derek Fry, Cat Black Holman, that was able to use with our athletes. But first thing is the setup and the initial setup, the initial swing of any kind of set. So the most important thing is please don't start with the kettlebell standing straight up and down. We want to start with the kettlebell on the ground. So now when I start, I'm going to have my shoulder blades on my back pockets, I got tensions on my hamstring, and I'm going to start from the ground. That's going to keep my glutes, hamstrings in a tense position, so I can start. The first thing I'm going to do is start with a swing from here, right? Instead of standing up and just squatting down. So from here, I'm going to just swing it back like I'm snapping a football. Like I'm a long snapper, I'm snapping a football on a punt, snapping straight back all the way through. And again, keeping the tension on my glutes and hamstrings. I should snap it back so you should be able to see it at the back end, right? Again, not a lot of knee bend, keeping that knee bend the same. When I start the initial first swing, I'm trying to contract my glutes and my quads almost simultaneously. So again, I should have flex my quads, flex my glutes, I'm telling athletes, flex those butt cheeks, flex those quads, and throw that kettlebell out in front. So again, it should be kind of a pop. So from here, pop it up. Right? And again, keeping the kettlebell high. The kettlebell should be above the knees when you're swinging it through. When you're coming up, squeezing the glutes or butt cheeks. A couple common errors. If athletes don't have their butt cheeks squeezed, right, they don't squeeze those glutes, a lot of times they don't get full extension, which is the whole purpose, to try to get those glutes activated. Second thing is if they don't contact their quads, a lot of times they got their glutes through, their knees are still bent. They don't have their quads flexed, their knees can still be bent. And then in addition, even if they are contracted, sometimes they'll have that lean back. A lot of times you have athletes just leaning back, trying to keep that center of gravity forward. So here's the second major point. Make sure when you're swinging the kettlebell, swing it back through, pop it out in front. I should pop it out in front of me. So again, I'm going to go ahead and contract my core, right? Throwing it through, pop it out in front. That'll keep my posture straight up and down. So I don't have any overextension of the back by swinging. That's a big common mistake, okay? Last thing, third point, on the descent. I want to make sure when I'm swinging that kettlebell down through, I'm going to swing it down as hard as I can. Almost like I'm going to hit myself and then move out of the way at the last minute. So again, don't let the kettlebell drop, don't let the knees drop, just literally try to swing it as hard as I can down. The more force I generate in the eccentric, the more force I can come up with in the concentric. So again, it doesn't matter if I'm doing swings with an American swing, a regular swing, swings with band. The more force coming down, the better off I'm going to be. So again, throw it back. As I come down as hard as I can, come right back up. Obviously, I wish I had someone a little more athletic and taller and better looking to demonstrate this, but you're stuck with me. So again, large group of athletes, start at the bottom position, snap it through. Make sure they're throwing the kettlebell out in front of them. Throw it in front to keep a good posture. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads. Lastly, swing that kettlebell back down through the legs as hard as they can to generate some more force going up in the concentric. So try those techniques, especially for a group of athletes that you're working with. Hopefully they'll help you out.